Good morning, all. Welcome back to my class.
Today we are going to learn the rest of the story Children at Work.
Before taking the class, I am going to recall your memory. For that, I will ask some questions related to the previous class. First question: what was the age of Velu and why did he run away from his home? Velu was 11 years old. He ran away from home because his father was a drunkard and he took away all his money he earned. How was his feeling when he got down from the train? He was unsteady and uncomfortable when he got down from the train. What was he carrying along with him? Velu was carrying a bundle with him. Okay, then turn your textbook to page number 10.
He caught up with the girl as she was leaving the station.
When they got to the road, Velu found that the vehicles kept coming and never stopped for anyone. Smoke and dust flew at him from all sides, making his head spin. They had to wait for a long time before they could find a gap to run through. Velu kept hesitating and the girl finally dragged him to the other side. What do you think you are doing? Grazing cows? If you stand around in the middle of the road like that, you will be chutney. Velu's heart was still beating fast. He looked back at Central Station and the traffic speeding by. How had they managed to come through that? They walked along the side of the road under some huge signboards. Velu looked up at the pictures. Bunions, car tires, pens, a woman holding a box. The writing was all in English, so he didn't know what it meant.
Velu caught that girl as she almost left the station. As soon as they reached the road, Velu noticed that the traffic did not stop for anyone. They waited for a long time to cross the road. Velu was not confident to cross the road, but the girl pulled him to the other side of the road. She told him that if he stood in the middle of the road like that, he would be turned into chutney. He could not believe that he managed to come alive out of the speeding traffic. Then they moved along the side of the road. They saw huge signboards over them. Velu couldn't understand what was written on the board because it was all in English. But he saw the pictures of bunions, car tires, pens, and a woman holding a box on them.
The girl turned onto a wide bridge and walked up. Velu stopped and peeped over the railing. Under him, the road ran into the city. In the distance, he could see huge buildings and towers and more roads. See that big building with the wall around it? If you are not careful, you will soon be counting bars there. The girl grinned and pointed at a huge building. Velu squinted and read the Tamil sign, Central Jail. Why? I haven't done anything wrong. You don't have to do anything. Just don't get caught, that's all. What does she mean? Velu wondered. Meanwhile, the girl was already heading down the bridge with the sack on her shoulder. What was in it? He had seen her putting plastic cups into it at the station. What are you carrying in that bag? Things, bottles, paper. Velu wondered what she was doing with them, but he felt shy to ask any more questions. It was still morning, but the sun blasted down on the tar and Velu's bare feet burned. It was not like walking on a mud road. He was soaked with sweat. He tried hard to walk in the shade and keep up with the girl at the same time. She walked really fast. How far away was the food?
The girl took a turn to a wide bridge and began walking. He saw a road under him that connected to the city. A bit far away, he could see tall buildings, towers, and some more roads.
The girl pointed out to the one building with the wall around it. Velu read the Tamil sign on it. It was Central Jail. The girl laughed. She told him to be careful if he wanted not to be inside the jail. Velu said that he hadn't done any wrong. The girl said that it didn't matter. The important thing was he shouldn't be caught.
Velu wondered that what she was carrying in the bag. She told that she took things like bottles, paper, etc. Velu wondered that how far away the food was.
After almost an hour of walking, they stopped in front of a big building. Sri Rajarajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam, read Velu slowly.
A sign with letters made of flowers said,
Groom, Jevi Vinayagan. Bride, Rani. Velu stared at the big cars parked outside
one of the cars had a flower garland.
and roses taped onto it. The girl looked around, pulled one off quickly and stuck it in her hair. Come on, she said.
Are we going to eat here? Asked Velu.
Looking at the huge hall and the people inside. Hobbs, said the girl, shaking her thumb under his nose. She led him behind the hall. There was a big garbage bin overflowing with rubbish. Two goats were standing on the pile, fighting for a banana leaf. A cloud of flies buzzed around their legs.
There was a rotten smell in the air.
The girl picked up a squishy banana and held it out to Velu. Here's your food? Velu was shocked. Are we going to eat their leftovers? Chi,
What do you think I am? A dog?
I only take untouched food. Here, some more, catch. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distaste. They finally reached to a marriage hall. The sign on the building read, Sri Rajarajeshwari Prasanna Kalyana Mandapam. Velu read the name slowly. He looked at the huge hall and the crowd. He asked her that if they were going to eat from there. The girl ridiculed him. Then she led him to a garbage bin behind the hall. The girl picked up a crushed banana and offered it to Velu to eat. Velu was shocked. He asked if they were going to eat the leftovers. She said that she ate only untouched food. She threw him a vada. Velu looked at it with distaste. Come on, hero, eat it. You think I like it? I told you I will find you something to eat.
Don't think I have money to buy food for you.
You would better eat what you get until you have your own money. Velu hesitated, but his stomach squeezed him again. He gulped down the banana and vada. His stomach felt better immediately. He could have eaten at least 10 times more, but the girl could find only one more banana which she ate herself. It's too early. They have only eaten tiffin. If you are still hungry, you will have to wait for them to finish lunch. You can wait if you want. I have to work. I'm going. She picked up a couple of bottles from the heap and threw it into her sack. Then she walked off. Velu panicked. He realized that if the girl left him, he had no idea where he was and what to do. It was better to stick to her. She seemed to know her way around. He ran after her again. Yay, he called. He did not even know the girl's name. Yay, what's your name? He asked, hurrying behind her. She stopped and turned around.
Oh,
So you have been following me around without even knowing my name? Jaya. I'm not following you. What then? Who got you food? Can I come with you? Where are you going? Come if you want. This bag is full.
I have to go home to get another one. She told him that she would find him something to eat, and she had no money to buy food for him. She told him to adjust whatever he finds to eat till he began earning.
However, he was too hungry to refuse any food. So he ate the banana as well as the vada. The girl could find only one more banana which she ate herself.
She told that if he was still hungry, he would wait till the people finished their lunch. She had to go for work. Then she picked up a couple of bottles from the waste and put it in the sack. Then she went from there. Velu panicked because he would have nowhere else to go and nothing else to do. He thought that it was better to stay with her, so he ran after her. He asked her name. She told that her name was Jaya. She said if he wanted to come with her, he could. She went to home to take another sack. Part 3. Jaya and Velu walked along the roads for half an hour
Until they came to a bridge across a dirty trickle of water. We are in Triplicane now. See, that's Buckingham Canal, said Jaya. Velu stared. This was a canal? Near some puddles of water was a row of the strangest huts he had ever seen. They were built out of all sorts of things: metal sheets, tires, bricks, wood, and plastic. They stood crookedly and looked as if they would fall any moment. Crookedly means not straight. Is this where you live? These houses are strange, said Velu. In our village, the houses are made of mud and palm leaves. Jaya went around to one of the huts and dumped her sack outside. Then she picked up an empty one. Let's go. She turned to Velu and gave him a shove. At least help me now. Here, wear this and come with me. She threw him a pair of old shoes without laces and pushed a sack and a stick into his hand. Velu was confused. What work did she want him to do with these things? The only work he had ever done was on the landowner's farm, weeding and taking cows out to graze. Are there any farms in the city? He asked Jaya. They walked on for half an hour. They came to a bridge across a dirty trickle of water. Trickle means to flow in a small stream. Jaya called it Buckingham Canal. Near some puddles of water there was a row of huts. These were the strangest huts that Velu had ever seen. They were made of metal sheets and other useless materials like tires, bricks, and plastic. To Velu, these huts looked strange because in his village the houses were made of mud and palm leaves. Jaya dumped her sack outside a hut. She picked up an empty one. She gave Velu a pair of old shoes without laces. She handed him a sack and a stick also. Velu was confused.
He did not know what type of work Jaya expected him to do with a sack and a stick. The only work he had ever done was on a farm owned by a landowner. He asked if there were any farms in Chennai.
She laughed and thumped her stick on the ground. Farms? There are no farmers here. We are rag pickers. Rag pickers? See my sack, full of things I collected. Collected? From where? Asked Velu. From rubbish bins. Where else? You collect rubbish? Velu had never heard of such a thing. Aye, blockhead. It's not any rubbish. Only paper, plastic, glass, such things. We sell it to Jam Bazar Jagu. Velu was puzzled. He had heard of people throwing away rubbish.
But why would anyone want to buy rubbish?
Who is Jam Bazar Jagu? Why is he buying all this? You think he buys it for show? He sells it to a factory. Come on, I don't have time to waste like you. Velu did not move. He hadn't run away and come to this new place to dig through garbage bins. Jaya poked at him with her stick. Look here, she shouted. If someone gets there before us, we don't get anything. Don't just stand there, posing. Posing means looking important, hoping to impress others. Big hero, I am trying to help you. Who filled your stomach today? Velu scratched his head and sighed. I will do it for now, he thought, until I find a better job.
Jaya laughed and struck her stick on the ground and told him there were no farms and all they did was rag picking. Velu did not understand. She told him about the things she had collected. He was again confused. He thought that she collected garbage, but she corrected him. She gathered only paper, plastic, glass, and such stuff. She sold it to Jambasar Jagu. He was extremely confused. He could not understand why someone would buy rubbish, because people generally wanted to get rid of garbage. She clarified that he did not buy it for showcasing, he sold it to a factory. She said she did not have much time to waste like him. Velu stood still. He hadn't run away to search through garbage dumps. Jaya poked him with her stick and told him that they went there before anyone else, otherwise they would not get anything. She said she is trying to help him. She is the one who fed him that day. Velu scratched his head and sighed. He would do it till he finds himself a better job. That's all for the day. Thank you.